In late February 2026, the world woke up to one of the most shocking geopolitical events of the decade. Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, a man who had ruled the Islamic Republic since 1989, was suddenly gone. His death was not the result of illness or natural causes. Instead, it came in the form of a highly coordinated military strike that many analysts described as one of the boldest targeted operations in modern history. Governments rushed into emergency meetings, financial markets reacted instantly, and millions across the Middle East watched the situation unfold with uncertainty and fear. The operation that killed Khamenei was reportedly part of a wider campaign carried out jointly by the United States and Israel, aimed at dismantling Iran's leadership and military command structure. Intelligence agencies had spent years studying Iran's defensive systems, tracking leadership movements, and analyzing possible vulnerabilities. When the strike finally came, it was fast, precise, and devastating. Within hours, global headlines described it as the moment that could reshape the balance of power across the Middle East. The target, one of the most powerful men in the world. To understand why the strike shocked the world, you first have to understand the power held by Ali Khamenei. As Iran's supreme leader for more than 3 decades, he was the highest authority in the country's political and military structure. Presidents came and went, but Khamenei remained the ultimate decision-maker behind Iran's foreign policy, military strategy, and ideological direction. He controlled Iran's armed forces, had influence over the judiciary, and maintained close ties with the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Under his leadership, Iran expanded its regional influence through alliances with groups across the Middle East. To supporters, he was the defender of the Islamic Republic. To critics, he was the architect of Iran's confrontational strategy toward Western powers and Israel. Because of this influence, Khamenei had long been considered one of the most protected leaders on earth. His movements were secretive, his compounds heavily guarded, and his security apparatus extensive. Yet, despite these layers of protection, intelligence agencies eventually discovered an opportunity that would lead to one of the most dramatic targeted strikes in modern warfare. The intelligence operation behind the attack. According to reports, the operation that led to Khamenei's death did not begin weeks or months before the strike. It had been developing for years. Intelligence agencies, including the CIA and Israeli intelligence services, were reportedly tracking the movements of Iran's top leadership and gathering information about secure compounds in Tehran. Satellite surveillance, electronic monitoring, and human intelligence sources were all believed to play roles in locating high-value targets. Analysts studied where Iranian leaders held meetings, how often they traveled between compounds, and which locations were used for strategic planning. The goal was to find a moment when multiple senior figures would be in the same place. Eventually, intelligence sources reportedly identified a gathering of senior Iranian officials in Tehran. This information became the trigger for a carefully planned military operation designed to eliminate several key figures in one coordinated strike. The weapon that changed the battle. When the strike finally happened on February 28, 2026, it was carried out with advanced military technology designed for precision and speed. Reports suggest that the attack involved a powerful missile launched from a fighter jet, capable of traveling to near space altitude before descending at extreme speed toward its target. Weapons like this are designed for what military strategists call decapitation strikes. The goal is not simply to damage infrastructure, but to remove leadership in a single, decisive blow. By eliminating command figures, planners hope to disrupt an enemy's ability to respond or coordinate retaliation. The missile struck a compound in Tehran, believed to be used by the Iranian leadership. The explosion destroyed parts of the facility and killed several high-ranking officials, along with Khamenei himself. The attack reportedly occurred so quickly that he was unable to reach a secure underground bunker designed for emergencies. Within hours, Iranian state media confirmed that their supreme leader had been killed. The immediate aftermath. The aftermath of the strike was chaotic. Iran declared a national mourning period, while state television broadcast tributes to the leader who had ruled the country for more than 35 years. Reports also indicated that members of Khamenei's family were killed in the same attack, further intensifying public emotion inside Iran. Across the region, governments began preparing for potential escalation. Military forces in neighboring countries were placed on higher alert. Oil markets reacted immediately, and analysts warned that the event could trigger a wider conflict. At the same time, the operation reportedly killed several senior Iranian military and security officials, creating a sudden leadership vacuum within the country's power structure. Experts describe the situation as one of the most dramatic leadership disruptions in Iran since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Why the strike is so controversial. The killing of a head of state through a targeted military strike is extremely rare and deeply controversial. Critics argue that such operations could destabilize entire regions and create cycles of retaliation. Supporters claim that removing powerful leaders responsible for military aggression can weaken hostile regimes and prevent future conflicts. Some analysts refer to this type of operation as decapitation warfare, a strategy designed to cripple an opponent's leadership structure. However, history shows that removing a leader does not always bring stability. In some cases, it can strengthen hardline factions or trigger prolonged conflict. The death of Khamenei raised exactly these questions. Would Iran become more moderate under new leadership, or would the country respond with greater aggression? The global reaction. Around the world, reactions were mixed and intense. Some governments called for calm and diplomatic solutions to prevent a larger war. Others warned that the strike could trigger retaliation from Iran or its regional allies. Financial markets, especially oil markets, reacted quickly because Iran sits at the center of critical energy routes. Military analysts warned that even a limited retaliation could disrupt shipping routes, energy supplies, and regional stability. For ordinary people across the Middle East, the event created deep uncertainty about what might happen next. Conclusion: a moment that could reshape history. The killing of Ali Khamenei was not just a military event. It was a moment that may reshape the political future of the Middle East. Removing one of the region's most powerful leaders in a precision strike demonstrated the growing role of intelligence technology, advanced weapons, and targeted operations in modern warfare. But history shows that moments like this rarely end conflicts overnight. Instead, they often open a new chapter filled with uncertainty, power struggles, and geopolitical consequences. Whether this strike ultimately weakens Iran's power structure or pushes the region closer to wider conflict remains one of the biggest questions facing the world today. If you found this breakdown informative, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dive documentaries on global conflicts, geopolitics, and the events shaping our world. And let me know in the comments, do you think this strike will bring stability to the region or push the world closer to a larger war?